The tide has gone out in this South Carolina inlet, so the men can inspect the oyster beds and mark them with saplings. Once, the oysters were harvested by hand, but these men will harvest the oysters in a new way with a machine designed and built by Dr. John Collier and his fellow researchers at Clemson University. The experimental harvester was constructed on the hull of an old flat-bottom houseboat. The tide has come in, and the oysters are now several feet underwater, their position marked by the saplings. When they reach the bed, this part of the machine will be lowered into the water. The flexible steel teeth will break off the top layer of oysters. The other belt moves in the opposite direction, scooping the oysters out of the water onto a conveyor belt that piles them onto a barge being towed alongside the harvester. The machine must be carefully adjusted to harvest only the top layer of oysters without harming the layer below. The experimental model can do the work of 8 human oyster pickers, but few people are willing to do the hard manual labor of picking oysters by hand, so the machine is doing a job people don't want to do. The oysters are now ready to go to a factory to put into cans, but Dr. Collier and his crew are not headed for a factory. They're going to demonstrate a solution to the second problem the harvester was designed to solve. You see, many oyster beds have been closed because the water in which they live has become polluted. The crew are taking these oysters to cleaner waters. Getting the oysters back into the water is relatively easy. Just shove them off the barge with a stream of water from a hose. The oysters will attach themselves to the bottom to form a new bed. Laboratory tests have shown that after only 2 weeks in clean water, the oysters will be safe and ready to eat. Cans of oysters may again become plentiful thanks to the invention of a mechanical oyster harvester.